So now we have 5,500 planets, 4,100 of them transiting, and almost 500 spectra. And over 500 spectra in either transmission or emission. The visible and near-infrared spectra come mostly from Hubble, and the longer wavelength spectrophotometry from Spitzer, some very high resolution data from ground-based telescopes, and JWST to date has contributed about 20 spectra to the current count. But JW is giving us a revolutionary combination of sensitivity, a broad spectral range from the red visible out to the mid-IR, and spectral resolution ranging from simple photometric bands to resolution of almost 3,000. And these capabilities are being used to target planets ranging in size from Earths to Jupiters with temperatures over 1,500 degrees down to a few temperate Earths orbiting the most cool red dwarfs. The era of exoplanet characterization has truly begun. Of course, we had workshops that touched on exoplanet spectroscopy in the years since 2009. But when the SOC co-chair, Ian Crossfield, came to us with a fully formed workshop a couple of years ago, we delayed it a couple of times so that we would have JWST data to make this really the focus of a dedicated workshop. And this week you'll learn about the techniques of transit spectroscopy from initial data processing all the way through to retrievals of atmospheric parameters. You'll learn how these new capabilities characterize exoplanets and add to our understanding of their formation and evolution. You'll hear from the speakers about the bleeding edge of today's capabilities, and then look to the future for what new ground and space-based facilities will be able to do. And we'll end with a discussion of looking for biomarker signatures around habitable zone Earths orbiting solar-type stars, which is the recommendation for what's now called the Habitable Worlds Observatory, recommended by the recent decadal review. So I want to thank our SOC chairs, Ian Crossfield, who couldn't be here, who's on dad duty. 3 cheers for Ian, and Tiffany Kataria, who's here somewhere up there. Thank them and the entire SOC for putting together this week's agenda and the hands-on sessions, all the people who helped to put those together, and the entire NExScI team for making it happen. And as a final note, what I want to emphasize at the end of this week's meeting, you individually will have the knowledge and I hope the passion, and have met colleagues who will put you in a position to write a cycle 3 JWST proposal to use what you have learned here. The exoplanet fraction of JWST time is about 25%. That relies on you writing proposals. It's not easy, but it's not hard. It's satisfying, and you will get fabulous data that you'll hear about here for you to work on your favorite project. So go out and write cycle 3 proposals and win them, and let the games begin. Dawn.
Okay. Okay, so I'm going to do this very quickly. We want to recognize the Gabrielino and Tongva peoples as the original caretakers of this land. And so thank you. Okay, so just a teeny bit about NExScI itself. So we don't just run these workshops every year. We, of course, have a whole community support program, including the NASA Hubble Fellowship Program. So if you have questions about that, I'm the Sagan lead for that. So come ask us, come ask me. We have the NASA Exoplanet Archive. We are the official planet count keepers for NASA in terms of exoplanets. And then we also have the ExoFOP, which is a sibling program that the community contributes to. We have other long-term archives. We also have the Keck operation, Keck operations. So we're in charge of all of NASA's time on the Keck telescopes. If you have questions about that, you can come ask us about that as well. Right, Keck proposals. Yes, the call just came out for 24A, and I believe we might have information on that out where the posters are. And then, we're also partners in EPRV, working on helping to advance extreme precision radial velocity work. And let's see. Okay, this is our 23rd Sagan workshop. And this year we have over 1,300 registrants. And this is, I think, officially the largest number of people we've had in person ever in the whole history of this series. So we're really, really happy that you are all here. Chaz already thanked the organizing committee, so I won't do that again. I do want to give a shout out to our science affairs team, that put all of this together, especially Ellen, who you will see a lot of during this week. If you have praise, please give it to the team. There's Ellen, there's Tracy, you'll meet in a minute, there's Elise, and we have Melanie and Megan online. If you have complaints, come to me, I'll take them, and we'll make it better for next year. And there'll be a survey at the end of all of this too. So thank you again to the science organizing committee. Thank you so much to the hands-on session helpers, and Tracy will thank everybody too. Over almost half of this workshop is hands-on sessions, and these leaders spent a lot of time putting together these sessions for y'all. And I think that's where most of the learning happens. Personally, for me, that's where most of the learning happens. Okay, so we have a lot of you here. Everybody's going to be on their best behavior, right? Right. Everybody's going to act like adults, mature adults, and treat each other with respect and be professional. So, we will not stand for harassment in any way, shape, or form. I have teenagers. I know how to be tough. I have no problem tossing people out. But we're not going to have to do that because you're all going to be great. So behave professionally. Communication should be appropriate for a professional audience. Remember, if you have questions, you're asking about the science or the technique. You're not singling out the person. And be kind to others. And then if you take pictures before you post things online, just please ask the people you're taking the pictures of to make sure they're okay with that. Okay, and if you are a victim of a violation of our code of conduct, or you see something that makes you uncomfortable, you can report it to us. You can do it either through Slack, through a direct message to me or Ellen or Tracy, or you can send us an email. At nexsci@ipac.edu and ipac.caltech.edu. And the only people that see that email are me and Ellen. Okay. And then, so COVID-19, it's not actually gone. I'm going to put my mask on once I sit down. But Caltech does not have a masking requirement anymore. It's up to you all if you want to wear one or not. We encourage people to wear it. There's a lot of you in the room. The room is pretty full. And so, but you do what makes you comfortable. If you feel sick, do not come. If you feel sick, stay home, join the Zoom. You'll get hopefully the same content and you'll be able to hear everything. And so we do have masks at the registration desk, but the table before you came in. And I do believe we also have some COVID tests if people need them. So, reach out to us if you're not feeling well and you need some help. And with that, I'm going to turn it over to Tracy.
Okay, so my name is Tracy Chen. I'm also part of the NExScI Science Affairs team. I'd like to start my part of this presentation with a big thank you to all our speakers. Thank you for accepting our invitation and coming here to share your knowledge with us. Thank you very much. So we will post all the presentations, the PDF of the presentations on our website, and also make the recordings of all the presentations available at the Sagan Workshop YouTube channel, hopefully by the end of next week. And just a reminder for our speakers, so when you're talking, keep an eye on the timer for all the in-person speakers. The timer is right in front. And for the online speakers, we will share a Zoom background, which will show the timer. When you have 5 minutes left for your talk, the timer will turn yellow. And when you're down to the last 2 minutes, it will turn red. And all the in-person presentations will be given from the presentation laptop up at the podium. So make sure you upload and test your talk before your session. And here's the Wi-Fi information also written on the whiteboard here. So we have 2 main venues this time for the workshop. One is the Baxter Lecture Hall that we are all in right now. So this is where all the presentations, as well as those from the Excalibur workshop, will take place. So normally there's no food or drink allowed here, but given the extreme hot weather out there, we will temporarily allow water in here. During the day, the room is unlocked. So if you need to walk away for a long period of time, please take all your valuables with you. And there are some plugs and power strips available on the floor. We ask you to please share. You will enter and exit through the back of the rooms using the stairs, unless you have pre-arrangement with us to use the elevator. I don't think we have any, but if you need assistance, please let us know. And the restrooms are down 1 level, also in the back. The other main venue is the Dabney Hall and Gardens right across the walkway from us. So that's where all the posters will be displayed all week. And it's also where all the lunches and dinners will happen, including the lunches with speakers. So there are a lot of interactive features in this hybrid workshop. So you heard me mention the lunch with speakers. We actually have it for both in-person attendees and remote attendees. Those are informal chat you can have with the speaker about your research, your career path, work-life balance, anything you can think of. So we still have a few spots available. If you want to join us, use the link that you get in your email. And posters, all the posters will be listed on the Sagan Workshop website, and they are also in the poster room in Gather. On Monday and Tuesday, we will hold poster sessions simultaneously at Dabney for in-person attendees and in Gather for all the remote attendees. And there's also a posters and pops channel in Slack if you have any questions. We have 2 guests who will be taking over the IPAC Twitter account this week to tweet about the Sagan workshop. So you're welcome to tweet, follow, retweet using the hashtag Sagan 2023. And we've opened up the Slack workspace, and the invitation is already in the email sent to you, and it's also, I think, in the Zoom chat. We have set up several channels. Please go there, take a look, join whichever channel that you're interested in. So for our remote attendees, you will be joining us through using the Zoom webinar. Unless you're a speaker or you're chairing a session, your audio and video will be disabled. So the best way to ask questions is using the Q&A in Zoom. And we encourage all the speakers and attendees to help answer those questions in the Zoom Q&A. If you have any follow-up questions, you can also ask them in the talks channel in Slack. Just a quick note that the Excalibur workshop on Saturday will use the same Zoom information and the Slack workspace. Hands-on sessions, as Dawn has already mentioned, this is a big feature of the Sagan workshop, so everybody is welcome to participate. If you are proficient in Python, you can choose to install Python on your own laptop and follow along using the Jupyter notebooks. We just asked you, if you want to choose this option, please have everything installed, following the instruction on our website, have everything installed before the start of the hands-on session. Or if you are not familiar with Python, we recommend you to use the Google Colab. So this one will run on a virtual machine, which does not require a Python installation, but it does require you to open a new free Google account so that we can maximize the storage we can use for the hands-on exercises. So we have 4 hands-on sessions for this workshop. And then on Thursday, people can choose to work in teams to and pick one of the group projects to work on. And on Friday, you have a chance to present your findings from this group project. So as Don already mentioned, there's a huge amount of effort went into the preparation and the testing of all those hands-on hands-on sessions. So I'd like to give a big shout out to all the leaders for our hands-on sessions: Taylor, Kevin, Laura, Natasha, Sagan, Paul, and to my colleagues, Melanie and Elise, and all our in-person and remote hands-on session helpers. Thank you all. Without your help, we couldn't have made this happen. So we encourage everyone to participate in all the hands-on sessions, and remote attendees can choose to do the hands-on session live or on your own time. And we do have Slack channels for the Python help, and also for each of the hands-on sessions. You've already received the link to join Gather. So all the posters will be in the poster rooms in Gather. You can view the poster there, talk to the authors there. If the authors are not available on Gather at the time you want to talk to them, you can always leave them a message, leave all your questions in the posters and POPs channel in Slack. And remote attendees can also use the hands-on lab in Gather to work together on the hands-on sessions. And the campground is well, all the remote attendees will be gathering on Wednesday for the group picture. Okay. If you missed the group picture, you can choose to submit a headshot to be included in our class picture. And after workshop, you'll be able to request a letter of attendance. And we will also send a survey to you. Please fill out the survey and let us know if you have any feedback, suggestions for the workshop. So a few final reminders. We want everybody to have an enjoyable time, and want this workshop to be very productive for everybody. So please behave professionally. If you want to share photos for any attendee or their project, please make sure you get their permission first before you put on social media. Again, there's no food or drink allowed in this room except for water. Please silence your cell phones and the laptops. And we will be taking the workshop picture on Wednesday at 11:30 a.m. So for the in-person attendees, we will just take it right outside of this building. For the remote ones, you will look for the campground in Gather. So finally, just for fun, we'd like to see where everybody's is joining us from. So if you have your laptop, please go to this website, menti.com. And type in the code at the top of screen. Alan, are you gonna? Okay, we will have a code for you, and we'll put that code in Slack and Zoom chat as well. Okay, so this is the map, and the code is at the top. Here, use this code, 36864464. Yes, since we're running a little bit behind, while everybody's still popping up the map, I can see a lot of dots already popping up all over the map. But let me just go ahead and introduce our chair for the first session, Dr. Tom Green.